Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Heart to Heart with Belle. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I am so blessed to be able to offer this show where everybody is welcome, where you can bear your burdens, where if you've had a bad day or a bad week, you can talk about it, you can be accepted and comforted. We can another as Galatians 6. So let me thank first my mods. First, my managing moderator, Triple S Mercantile. I also want to thank my entire mod squad, which includes Amy Hoosier Diver, Karen McCarty, Maria Garcia, Danielle Barnes, who came up with the name Heart to Heart with Belle, Taburo Ohana. I'm so blessed to have a great moderation team, which helps me keep this G-rated and family friendly. Let's see who else we have in the chat. Oh, we have Jennifer. Welcome, Jennifer. Thanks for coming back. She was at the auction last night. And tonight is going to be a little bit different than the last few weeks of Heart to Heart with Belle. I had just been reading comments and having a heart to heart with y'all talking, y'all typing, and me talking. However, I have decided more parts this week to see y'all enjoyed being able to have a verbal heart to heart because some people and their own voice just has a more personal touch, and sometimes you can connect better with each other because there's something about the voice that rather than the written word where it allows you to understand where the person's coming from. Sometimes when you're typing, humor is muffled if not muted, and sometimes things don't come out exactly right, plus there's a character limit in the typed chat. So therefore, I thought this might help out. I also use this on Thursday nights during my game show Battle with Belle. And it's how people are able to come on and verbally play my game Last Word. Now, StreamYards is expensive. And since I'm not yet monetized, I really had to think and pray about whether I wanted to add that extra expense to this heart to heart show. But I thought I'd try it this week and we'll see how it works out. And if y'all like it better, if you feel like you can connect one to another better, and if we can grow and draw closer together in this heart to heart show, because I have to tell you, I'm getting close to 1,000 stars. To get monetized, I also need 4,000 watch hours. But this show is not a show that I drag on and on and on just trying to get watch hours. Now, I will drag on and on the game show because that is for watch hours. But this is specifically so that we can connect one to another. So hopefully, by now having the link where y'all can click the link in order to tell what's going on and what you to share about your own life, that is in which you need some comfort, some consolation, in which you need to talk out issues. And then I think that there are other people in the chat who have some experiences. I see that we've had a few new people come in. Well, a few additional people. They're not new people. They are regular ballerinos and ballerinas. So I want to say hi to Cindy Lou. I want to say hi to Crubby the Beagle, to Phyllis Gagne, to Renee, Canadian girl Renee. I want to say hello to Connie Wilton. Connie Wilton is one of the people that I was really hoping is going to click the link later. I should have private messaged her. However, she's not in my Discord and I didn't know how to private message her. But she had shared during our game show about one of her treatments. And we just really didn't have time to stop and talk about it because, it's a fast moving game show but I totally wanted to hear about it and wanted to talk about it. I wanted all of us to support her as her treatments are coming up. And I'm hoping that when we drop the link today, that if she feels comfortable, maybe she will click the link and tell about her treatments. If she's comfortable, maybe we could even pray for her. But I'm hoping that having this link that we can now drop, hopefully the mods are dropping it, will allow us to have better, more in-depth conversations so that we can learn more about what each other is going on and to provide that community spirit. Y'all have been doing so great typing it every week, but sometimes it's good just to hear from the person themselves. So, mods, if you will, go ahead and drop the link in case anybody wants to come on and go ahead and have a heart to heart. I do want to say that, as always, this chat needs to be G rated and family friendly. And we're not going to talk about any specific medicines, drugs by name, because we don't want it to seem like it's some kind of endorsement. But we can absolutely talk about what you all are going through and what's going on in your lives. If you want to pray about it, we can absolutely positively pray about it. And I want to thank all of you for being here. If you will, go ahead and click the thumbs up. Not for me, but for being able to provide a place where we don't always have to put on a happy face, where if we're having a bad day, a bad week, even a bad month or year, that we can gather together to support and encourage and comfort each other. And please don't think that it has to be something huge. Just because you didn't have a spouse that died or a house that burned down does not mean you can't share. You could have broken up with a boyfriend. You could have been fired from a job. You could have hit your funny bone. You could be having dental pain, like we were talking about last week. I think that almost all of us at some point in our lives have experienced some dental pain, and we have realized it is no joke. It is so painful. And even a paper cut, we sometimes will say, oh, it's just a paper cut. But yet, if you've ever had one and had that annoying burning and stinging day in and day out, every time you went to touch something or grab something, or just the stinging all the time, you realize that it is one of those things that is super annoying. So, it's in understanding and feeling those same feelings that we are able to connect and bond with each other. So, is it too soon to ask who wants to have the first heart to heart with Belle? Well, it looks like Connie's trying to share. She's talking about her last treatment being Friday the 10th. And I see now that she's saying that her motto through all of this treatment was, I have too much to live for and nothing to die for. What a motto! Wow. Well, Connie, if you want to click the link so you can tell us more about it, so we could hear you say your motto in your own words, in your own voice, we would love to hear that. But if you don't feel comfortable in sharing, then I don't want to pressure you. Now, if y'all aren't interested in clicking the link, please know that you can still type your comments and concerns and everything you want to share in the comments always of the expensive StreamYards. So if y'all like the show fine as it was, that won't hurt my feelings. That will only save me money. So no worries if y'all would prefer to type rather than talk. Oh, Triple S, thank you so much for putting the fleur de lis in the chat to encourage me. For those of y'all who don't know, my channel logo is the fleur de lis, celebrating the French heritage of my New Orleans area. And so, in addition to the thumbs up, which tell YouTube that you support my channel, the fleur de lis in the comments is the way you tell me that you personally support my channel. Okay, I can understand that, Connie. If your voice isn't up to it, there is absolutely no pressure. And we are here every Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for some time when you do feel like your voice is strong enough to talk. So there's absolutely no pressure. We are just glad to have you here and glad to support you. Well, is there anybody else that would like to share, either in the chat or by clicking the link? You know, even if you haven't had something awful happen, sometimes we have ongoing situations. I remember in the first episode, somebody was sharing about having a strained relationship with family. And sometimes we just have ongoing situations in our lives that we need to talk about, whether it's with parents, with kids, with siblings, with your neighbors. Let's see. I see Canadian girl Renee asking a question. When is Mardi Gras, Belle, this year? Mardi Gras is always 40 days before Easter, and it's one day before Ash Wednesday. It falls in the middle of the month. Um, I want to say around the 20s. I haven't specifically looked it up. It's a couple of weeks away yet. I'm not sitting with a calendar in front of me, but it's gonna be like that the Tuesday of, like, the 3rd week or so this year. And for those of you who may not know what Renee is referring to, New Orleans celebrates the carnival season. It begins on Twelfth Night, which is the 12th night after Christmas, and it concludes on Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras translates to Tuesday Fat or Fat Tuesday because in French, adjectives come after, and it's a day of all day parades and revelry. Connie is sharing that her journey started December 10th with her first, and then her first procedure was February 10th of 2022. And so the final one is exactly a year. Wow, an entire year of dealing with something so big. What a year it has been. Sometime when you're up to it, I would love to hear some of the lessons that you learned, some of the trials that you went through to learn those lessons, since clearly you have become empowered through it and you have become stronger and you have found reasons to appreciate life and to celebrate life. What an amazing share and testimony you must have, Connie. I see that Lisa M has joined us. Hello, Lisa M. I am so glad that you have joined us. And thank you so much for the fleur de lis of encouragement. Hopefully, you also click the thumbs up as well. Has anybody else experienced anything similar to Connie that you might could share to support her? If so, don't be shy. But if that's too private, then we absolutely understand. Connie, even though you told us in Battle with Belle, and I think you shared on Shannon's channel, I don't know if you mind sharing again. Oh, here we go. She is sharing. She wanted people to know that cancer, I'm not sure if we said specifically that it was cancer, but she's now telling everybody to be clear. I want people to know that cancer is just a word and not to let it frighten you, because you have to be strong enough to show it who is boss. Maria is saying, I told you, Belle, and she's referring to some private messages that she sent me. I never try to tell anybody's private information. I wait, even if y'all share it with me privately, to see if y'all want to share it publicly. And she says that I hurt my right hip close to my rib. It was just cleaning and picking up things, uh, and that's when it happened. Please just pray for me to get better. Oh, hi, Christina Lewis. Let's stop right now, and I'm going to pray for Maria Garcia. Mods, if I miss other messages, y'all recycle them when I open back my eyes, and I will start there answering and reading messages. Heavenly Father, I pray for Maria Garcia. Wrap your loving arms around her. Please help to heal and restore the pain in her hip and her ribs. Give her some peace and some comfort. Be with her as she goes through the natural healing process of these parts of her body. Help her to be careful, to take extra care in doing the daily routines and tasks that we as women have to do just to get by every day. I ask that you would give her a spirit of restoration, of comfort, of healing, and encouragement and inspiration during this time. And don't let her get down. Remind her of how special she is, how blessed she is in her life. It's in your name I pray. Amen. What I missed. Triple S says, my mom has lung cancer. We did 2 full treatments of radiation. So apparently, Connie, you're not the only person dealing with cancer. Triple S, if you want to share, or if your mom's up to sharing, we would love to hear about it. But if you just want to leave us with that information, that's absolutely fine. I see Renee is also saying that my mom's friend gave us some Mardi Gras beads from when he went there. You know, it's interesting, Renee, and this is kind of off topic. Um, but at the auction, I almost brought out some Mardi Gras beads. I have some beautiful ones that have masks on them and that are strung, and they're more like actual jewelry or more like decor rather than actual beads. But I thought, well, maybe nobody would be interested, or it's more like decor rather than something that everybody would want. But I think about that and debate about that. And I see that Amy or Dive is dropping the Discord link. If y'all need yet someplace else to be a community and to talk to each other, to get to know each other, to support each other when this show isn't on, I highly suggest the Discord. It's completely free. You can both public message, group message, private message. Also, there are voice chats and video chats on there. It's very convenient, and I like it better than email because emails so often you miss one or somebody else misses one. With Discord, it's a log, so you can always scroll up to see what the previous messages were, and you never miss any because you're not having to open them up separately. I see that Triple S is also sharing my older brother has stage 4 cancer, and it's been a hard journey. Oh, 2 different family members with cancer. That is quite the situation. Has anybody else experienced? Oh, I see underneath that, behind it, my apologies, that Cindy Lou is sharing that her mom had stage 4 lung cancer way, way, way back many decades ago in 2012. Amy's saying that cancer is definitely not an easy journey. Cindy Lou is saying that her mother specifically had lung cancer. Lisa M is saying that she has a headache. Lisa M, let me know if you want prayer for your headache. Is there anybody else in the chat that suffers from headaches? Connie is giving the suggestion. Connie, I don't know if you had caregivers in your family or not, but when you hear somebody who's had cancer tell others who are taking care of somebody with cancer and giving them advice, that too is a great help and a great gift. She says to be strong and supportive with your brother, and I'm sure your mother too. Um, and just remember that she is with you through the journey. See, already y'all are making friends and supporting each other and helping each other. Triple S shares that it's hard to balance life. And she counts every day that she has with her mom as a gift. Oh, Connie has already started a book. That is a fabulous idea in order to record your thoughts and feelings and the journey that you're going through. Amy is agreeing that it's definitely hard to balance life and caring for one's loved ones. Triple S is agreeing with Lisa M that headaches are a nuisance. Well, since we have several topics on the table right now, let's drop the StreamYard's link in case anybody wants to talk about any of their loved ones who've had. I know Connie's not up to it, but several other of you have experienced that. Or if Lisa wants to talk about her situation with headaches, if Maria wants to talk about her hip and rib and the injury she suffered last night. So we're going to drop the link in case any of y'all want to verbally share. Nobody has to, there's no pressure. But sometimes when we talk out loud, when we tell our story and our life experience with our own voice, it helps us to connect one to another. And sometimes we can hear things in a voice that we couldn't necessarily hear in a short read comment. Just because I'm not always so great at reading the comments, but also there's a character limit. So there's only so many words you can type in a comment. Karen's saying that she truly would give anything if she had more time with her parents. And I'm sorry, y'all. I feel exactly the same way about my dearly departed parents. So it is so excellent that Triple S realizes what a gift the remaining days that she has with her mom before her mom is called home by God are, and that she is making the most of them and cherishing them. So I see that Triple S is in talking about headaches and supporting Lisa M, that headaches make it hard to enjoy your day. It does. It makes it hard to talk, hard to type. It makes it hard to see sometimes, depending on the level of your headache. I, especially when I have headaches, get very light sensitive. I understand. For those of y'all who don't know, Lisa M is blessed with a little girl named Evelyn, and she's a toddler. Triple S is sharing that she lost her dad to lung cancer when she was pregnant with her first child, and she misses him every day. And for those of you who didn't hear Triple S share recently, that she is a mother of multiple children who I think she has mentioned are in the teenage years. don't want to dox her or anything, but that's just the stage of life that they're in, although she is still very young and vital. Oh, and Connie's saying if she lived near you, she would gladly help you. How kind and helpful and loving is that? So sweet. Oh, Christina Lewis is sharing that her mama was her best friend forever and that she misses her terribly. We are just a group of people missing their mamas, except for Triple S, who is cherishing every moment that she still has with hers. And when the time comes, we will support her and help her get through it when God calls her mama home. Karen says, I was 28 when my dad died and 30 when my mom died. Still so young, but I believe at that time she was married and had children of her own. So we are just missing our parents. But the great thing is that we don't have to miss them alone. We don't have to miss them in isolation. We're not crying into our pillow, just having a pity party. Instead, we are here on Southern Belle, being able to share each other's burdens and pain and grief. This way, we're helping each other. When we cry alone into our pillow, we help no one, and we just certainly don't even help ourselves. This way, we can give a spirit of constant and to share each other's sorrows and griefs. There is no time limit on grief. And this way we can help each other in also helping to bear our own burdens and griefs. Lisa M is saying that she still is blessed to have her parents and her in-laws, and she's very thankful for them. And I am so glad, not only for you, but for Evelyn too, to be able to spend time with them. And I'm sure having them around gives you and your husband some time for couple time and bonding time. So Christina specifies that she still has her dad. I'm so glad. And that she's going to see him in LA. Well, at least you'll have some beautiful weather there. Although LA almost always has beautiful weather, at least when I've been there. Karen says that her parents were 55 when they died. And oops, I'm losing it in the chat. When she died, and she always feared that she would die young, but that she's made it to 64. Well, congratulations on that. I hope that you are here a long, long, long while, my dear friend. I cherish you and I cherish our friendship. And Amy's saying we're all remembering our loved ones, and it's an awesome honor and gift. You know, that is a good point. Our loved ones could absolutely be looking down on us and seeing, hearing the wonderful love and remembrance that we are sharing. Sometimes we think that it has to be Mother's Day or Father's Day. Oh, she abbreviated LA for Louisiana, which, yes, that is the postal abbreviation. I'm sorry that I didn't jump to that conclusion. My apologies, Christina. Sometimes we think that we have to wait till Mother's Day or Father's Day in order to talk about our parents or remember them. Sometimes we'll do it on their birthdays too, but I mean, as a group to remember them. Connie is sharing that her father passed and went to better things 18 years ago, and that her mother passed to a better place. It's okay to say heaven in my chat if you want to. I'm a Christian and I'm totally faith friendly. 4 years ago, and to dance with the flowers and enjoy each other again. My mother also had breast cancer. It's amazing. I love the way that you say enjoy each other again, because my parents passed 30 days apart. And that is exactly what I was thinking when they died so close together after such a very long and fruitful marriage is the comfort in them being together once again. My apologies, y'all. Um, is there anybody that wants to click the link and share tonight on Heart to Heart with Belle? Clearly, y'all can see or hear that I too am having a heart to heart moment. I apologize for any sound of emotion that I may be displaying. You know, you always think that you're going to be objective as the host, or that you're just kind of offering the place that other can support each other. And sometimes, something within your heart and soul just gets touched. So, my apologies for any extra emotion on my behalf. And Triple S shares that her mom has been talking about her dad lately. Well, I'm glad that she has those. This is one of those great times that I write down to my chin. Oh, that's great for avatars. And I do have to say, most of the time, the artwork in the background is for sale. This is the only time that I've ever used a piece that was dear and special to my parents that is not for sale, that will never be for sale, that they cherished. But for some reason, I just felt a calling to show and share this with y'all. And of course, this would be the night that I get all choked up and emotional about them. Oh, it's okay. I am not crying about you. Joni asked one time about the death of my parents, and they didn't have cancer, so you did not make me cry. My dad died of respiratory distress. My mother died of heart failure. It was not cancer. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. So you sharing your story had absolutely nothing to do with that. So don't give that a second thought. So Cindy is saying that she handled dad's death better than the death of her mom. I don't know if there's really handling death better. Do y'all think so? Sometimes we just handle it on a delayed basis, or sometimes we have the comfort of the parent who is still alive. Um, Sometimes we're just at a place in our life where we're not necessarily um, emotionally, ready or available to talk about it. Lisa, I haven't weighed it. It's not so heavy that I can't pick it up, but it's not light as air either, if that makes sense. So, I know it probably looks like bronze or copper. It's, I think, just that color. I don't think it's that material. And Karen says that she is grateful for today and for a day without pain. Hooray! If y'all remember from previous weeks, Karen had shared about her fibromyalgia and some chronic pain. So it is such a blessing and such an answer to prayer that she happens to be having a day without prayer. I'm sorry, not a day without prayer. Absolutely not. A day without pain. So, an answer to prayer that she is having a day without pain. And Christine Lewis makes such an excellent point that each moment of grief is different and we all grieve differently. So, that is great. Just drop StreamYard's link if any of you want to stop hearing me blubber and instead share your own stories or talk about what you're going through, or if you have any advice to give to any of the other people that are sharing. Um, I am trying to make the StreamYard link available even though it comes with some extra cost, just in case y'all wanted to click the link and tell your own story and share from your heart. If y'all aren't interested in that, then I won't keep paying for the StreamYard. We'll just go back to the regular show through YouTube the way it was. We won't worry about the link. Y'all are just saving me money next time, so that won't be a problem. Connie is sharing that the way in which she deals with her parents passing was through journaling, as if she is talking to them. That's really interesting. I would guess it would be kind of like writing a play or like writing a scene where you write what you say and then you write what you think they would say or how they would respond. That must be so enlightening. You know, when you've known somebody so long, you can almost imagine what they'd say. You can almost hear the sound of their voice in your head, almost kind of like a movie actor. Some movie actors, we know what their voice sounds like. I'll use the example of James Earl Jones, and where is CNN. And we know that he has that kind of commanding, low, deep voice. And so you could almost read a line and imagine how he would say it. And um, even though our family members aren't celebrities, therefore, but we still know what their voice would sound like, what their giggle sounds like, a laugh, even a sneeze sometimes, or words or phrases that they often said that might have been a catchphrase to them. And Karen says that she literally talks to hers all the time. My mother used to tell me when I was in college that she would do that, that she missed me so much. And, you know, she couldn't call 24/7 because back when I was in college, in the olden days, when everybody still had a landline and when you still paid for long distance service, which, spoiler alert, I still have a landline and I still pay for long distance service. But she couldn't call all the live long day, and she knew that I was in class, I had labs, I had rehearsals, I had to hundreds of pages for each of my classes of reading and study. So she had to limit the amount of time she let herself call, that she would just pretend she was calling and talk to me or practice what she was going to say or how she was going to encourage me. She was also a great letter writer. The number of letters I received from her, as well as care packages. So it makes total sense to me that y'all would still talk to your parents, just like my mother would still talk to me. I should have shared that with a lady from a previous week who was saying that she and her daughter were estranged. I don't know why I didn't suggest that then. It's funny that life is 2020, and even in thinking about how you talked about things or the advice you give, even just in looking back on these shows, I'm already thinking of things I should have said, should have done differently. I don't know if that particular person will ever come back, but if perhaps she's watching this back and she's now hearing the idea or the suggestion. Connie's sharing that her backside has felt out of place due to a couple of good kicks to try and help me along. I love them dearly from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that is so sweet. Karen's saying that her son hooked himself to my Alexa, so once in a while, I'll just hear his voice. I love you, Mom. Oh, that is so sweet. So sweet. I've heard of cards that people can record their voices on or stuffed animals that like a mother or grandmother can record a voice on. So I didn't know that was possible with an Alexa, but what an amazing gift. You know, sometimes we think that gifts have to be something that we buy and we have shipped to somebody or have to be money or a gift card, but that kind of a sentimental gift just took him recording his voice is such a great example of something that is a comfort and encouragement and costs just your time. Maria Garcia is also saying that she talks to her dad every day and that she still misses him. Even Connie is also saying that it's an amazing idea. So it may be something that a lot of y'all who still have cherished loved ones want to do so that someday, hopefully far from now, when God calls them home, that you will have those memories in place. And those of you who are blessed with children may even be something you want to set up, or maybe you want to write letters to them, or journals, or a book, or a family ancestry. All of you who are appreciating that from your parents who are blessed with children might want to do something like that as a legacy to leave to your next generation. Oh, Christina is sharing that her daughter had made a throw for her with a picture of her and her mama on it. That is so thoughtful. Now tell us, Christina, is it one of those things where you have it on display? Is it one of those things where you're scared to use it, or you use it all the live long day, no matter what happens to it, because it is too nice and too special not to get used? I'm always interested when people get those kind of gifts, whether it's for display or it's something that they want to use and enjoy. Because both are types of enjoyment, but it's just a different mindset. And I know when I would give my mom things, she was always worried, wait, is this for display or is this for me to actually use? She would ask me that every time, no matter what it was. I one time, and this is a true story, gave her a fancy shirt. I had actually won it in a drawing, and I was so excited, and it was the nicest thing that I had at the time. I was totally broke. I had just graduated from college. I was earning very, very, very little money as a music minister. And I gave her this shirt thinking she would wear it. Instead, because it was a fancy name brand shirt, she thought it was too nice to wear. She framed the shirt. And interestingly enough, it is still framed and it hangs in her fancy powder room. So it just shows you can never tell when people realize whether it's okay to go ahead and use something or they feel like they have to try to make it a museum piece. Let's see. Christina says, when I'm really missing her, I wrap up in it to comfort me. Well, that is love. I'm getting some use out of it. Triple S is saying that she has a shirt of her dad's that was his favorite, and she'd like to make it into a memory bear. I have to tell you, when my dad first passed away, he had this old gray sweatshirt, nothing fancy. It was Hanes, run of the mill, and he had gotten a bit smaller as he had got closer towards the end. He had lost a lot of weight. And when he passed away, for the first few months, I, even though it was still too hot here, would put that on when I was missing him because it was like getting a bear hug from my dad because it was this warm and cozy sweatshirt. And Karen says, Belle, I believe that what you got what I call an angel sign by choosing that particular background piece. Okay. Amy's sharing that she has her best friend Macy's teddy bear and the porcelain cats that she gave her. She died of a massive heart attack when she was 20, and Amy was 21. And Connie says that she still has videos with her grandmother and her mom and dad so that she can go back and remember them for who they still are. That is so lovely. Hi, Kristen. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming to Heart with Belle. Tonight, we're talking about grieving as our first heart to heart. Grieving for parents. We actually started out talking about Connie's cancer and that she has one more treatment on Friday, the 10th. And Triple S shared about the cancer of her mom and her brother. And we somehow started talking about parents that we have lost and grandparents as well. Amy's saying that it definitely wasn't what she expected to happen at that age. I don't think we ever think that when we're young, people who are our age or close in age are going to die. So, but you never know when someone's going to get a rare illness, when they're going to be in some kind of an accident, whether it's a car accident or plane accident. And now we have so many gun accidents or so many random shootings that sometimes it can seem like being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Um, and Amy's saying that she's still her best friend all these years later. And she actually named her first reborn doll after her. Are any of y'all familiar with the reborn dolls? From what I understand, they're very lifelike looking and feeling. Triple S is sharing that the father of her children was killed by a drunk driver at 7:55 a.m. on a Tuesday morning in 2019. And she'd rather have her she does not mean self-harm. She does not mean that. That did not come out the way she was saying. Um, but it would hurt her to talk to her children about it. Lisa M is saying that she is very thankful for the gift um, of motherhood, and able to experience this kind of love is amazing. I'm guessing that those of you who are mothers in the audience can also affirm. I'm not a mom, so I don't personally know, but I would think that the gift of motherhood would be absolutely amazing and life-changing, and a gift better than anything you could buy in a store. Kristen is also sharing that she too has lost multiple family members to cancer. So she can also understand, also relate, also support. And yes, Triple S was just saying how hard it was, that it broke her heart. To give bad news anytime to anybody is hard, but to the fruit of your loins, to your most beloved, to those that God has given you to raise and rear and take care of, I cannot imagine the heartbreak of having to tell them that their entire world has been changed and that you can't fix it or make it better, that it is permanent and will last forever. I cannot imagine how you got through that. Is just a testament to how strong you are and what a loving and caring mother you are. Well, if there's anybody else that would like to have a heart to heart with Belle, the mods are going to drop the StreamYard link again. If you'd like to click the link to have a verbal heart to heart, you absolutely could. You don't have to. You can type your comments in the chat and we can keep going like this. But since it's one time we're on StreamYards, I just wanted to offer it again. Triple S is saying, I knew how much it would hurt. I had to write a letter describing how it impacted my children. I cried in court, but I read it. I cannot imagine how hard that is. Can anybody understand the what Triple S is saying? Has anybody else had to give bad news? Has anybody else had to tell heartbreaking news because it was your responsibility, or maybe you were the only one who could give the news and you were put in that position that nobody wants, but sometimes you just are beholden to? Karen is saying not to change the subject. We can take multiple subjects here, but does anybody have any ideas of how to help somebody with depression when they don't want help? Now, if I could ask a follow-up question, Karen, and it's none of my business, you absolutely don't have to answer this, but is the person you want to help with depression, does he or she know that she has depression? Is it something where they don't know that they have depression, or they know they have depression and they just don't care or don't want to do anything about it? One of them, and people are completely unaware that they have a problem. Um, in. And that's the first sweater that I had. So it's amazing when older people realize something new that we all knew was around, but to them is new and cutting edge. Amy is saying, giving advice to Karen, who is asking for help for someone with depression, that praying and being there is the way to go and what to do. That you can't actually make somebody get help, even if you want to, even if you need to, even if it would help them. Sometimes you just can't force things on people. Maria is sharing to Triple S and all of us that it was really hard for her to tell the daughter of a client that she had passed away. The girl was in tears when she told her, and she had taken care of the client for 3 long years and was with that client when she passed. Amy's telling Danielle that she knows it was hard and she doesn't know what she would do without her cute little black chihuahua named Winnie. I apologize for any of these audio issues. My internet is buffering and it's one of those things, it just happens. My service is not that great. So I absolutely apologize. Hopefully, if it is out, it will come back on. Danielle is saying that our pets are like family too, so it's hard when we lose them. Lisa M is offering the answer to the question about depression, that she would like to try to get them out of the house and get their mind off of the things that might be causing or attributing their depression. And that's a good idea, sometimes distracting people, whether it's inside or outside of their house, to get their mind off of themselves and onto somebody else. Sometimes making somebody else's day or life brighter helps to make our own day or life brighter. Oh, good. Thank you, Amy, so much. I'm so glad that the sound has cleared up. And Connie's saying just hear them out, and when they are ready to talk, be supportive. Triple S is saying that depression looks different for everyone. Try to listen and talk. I don't know much about depression, but one thing I do know is that I've heard experts, and I am not an expert, but I have heard them on various talk shows say that depression isn't necessarily somebody just laying in their bed all day and crying, that you can still be depressed and go to work and back, earn a successful living, cook every meal. It's not just somebody who won't get out of bed. And so sometimes we don't even realize how depressed somebody is, or that somebody is dealing with depression because they cover it up so well with coping strategies or with busyness. The same could be said of grief too. Sometimes we don't realize how much somebody is grieving because they are still busy, still getting things done, still productive. Just a reminder that if anybody would like to click the link to have a heart to heart verbally with me and with the entire chat, you are more than welcome to do that. I'm glad to keep reading your comments for you to share what you'd like to share. I just wanted to offer that since we are on the StreamYard setting tonight. But we have plenty of time to keep talking about this because this is the right time and the right place. Like all of the other streamers and YouTubers, I may not be able to stop an auction to talk about these private issues or stop a game show, but I have time to hear you out as long as y'all have time to listen and to share. I'm absolutely here for you, heart and soul. We don't have a specific time limit, Lisa M. Sometimes the internet is acting up and my internet will just go out. And when that happens, I take it as a sign from God. And so I go ahead and let the show end. The show ended like 30 minutes in last week. Some shows have lasted an hour or an hour and a half, but I don't have a specific cutoff time because as long as y'all have something you want to share or want to talk about, I absolutely want to be here to listen, to talk it through, to support and care about y'all. Connie is saying that her daughter is battling depression and that she doesn't pretend to know what she's going through. I just try to understand her feelings and emotions. And I wonder, Connie, is that how they were able to help you? That they didn't pretend to know what your cancer was like, but they just tried to understand your feelings and emotions? And Kristen is saying that she 100% agrees. Thank you so much. The people with depression can put up a front so that others don't see what they are going through. And oh, bless your heart, Kristen. She says that she knows personally from dealing with her own depression. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and admitting that about yourself, Kristen. We want to help you and support you for whatever you're going through. Do you know why you have depression? Did you have something in particular that happened? Or do you just think it's a stage of life or maybe a combination of things? If you'd like to talk about your depression, we are here to listen, to help, and to be supportive. Lisa is saying one of the hardest things that she ever had was anxiety after she gave birth to her daughter Evelyn, that she couldn't hardly travel with her in a car without freaking out about the other drivers. Have any of y'all that are moms had any of those worries or concerns or stresses in driving with a newborn? Knowing that car accidents are so prevalent, can happen so easily, that not all drivers are at their greatest of attentions, that some are distracted by other things. Amy is saying that depression is a pervasive feeling of no joy. What a apt description. Thank you so much for helping us to specifically hone and define depression. That is a great help to us. Karen shares that she goes to her brother's house every other day, and he knows, but he doesn't think anything will help. Okay, so her brother must be the one with depression that she's talking about. And Cindy Lou gives the advice to Connie just to be there for your daughter. And I'm not quite sure what her family has done, but if you'd like to tell us or share or verbally share, we're here for that. It looks like Cindy is also saying that she has panic attacks from anxiety. And Karen's asking me to pray for her brother. So let me stop right here. Mods, y'all remind me where I was in the chat. Heavenly Father, right now I pray for Miss Karen's brother. I don't know his name. I don't know his life story, but I know that he is valuable to you and valuable to Karen. We are all valuable to you, Lord. You know us all by name. You know the hairs on our head. You know that you have made us your special and precious creation, that each one of us is special and important and worthy. Whether we feel worthy, whether we know we're worthy, even if we just do regular everyday things, even if we just lay in bed all day, every day, like my dear mother did when she was homebound toward the last few years of her life. You still loved her, you still cared about her, you still knew her. And the same is true of all of those people who are homebound, who are bedbound, who are not able to do what they want to do, go where they want to go. They are still precious to you and in your eyes. May everybody who is dealing with depression know their worth and their value to you, Father. May everybody who is having a hard time know that that there is hope, there is redemption, that there is still time as long as they have life and have breath. And I ask you to strengthen and empower and invigorate those of us who are caregivers, those of us who have loved ones who are in peril, whether it's a physical peril, a mental peril, a spiritual peril, or an emotional peril, that we can express to them how much we love and care about them, that they're not alone, that we care about them, that you care about them. And it's in your most precious heavenly name I pray. Amen. Let me see where I was in the chat. My apology. Back up. May not be able to find where I was. Maj, you might have to help me. Okay, I think I found my place. Connie is saying that, no, they took it harder than I did. My daughter told me that I wasn't normal because I didn't yell or scream or get angry with the world, but I didn't feel like any of that would help at all. That seems so reasonable, Connie, that you put all of your energy and strength into getting better and recovering and living another day and another day and another day. And you didn't waste your strength and your energy on just being angry. That sounds so smart and so savvy to me. Doesn't that sound smart and savvy to y'all? Triple S you get more worried when you become a mother. After their father got killed, she said that she'd get anxious and that she'd occasionally have for yourself and your cat and drivers by pulling over, so that you could take a minute to keep everybody safe. That is so smart and kind and level headed. And Amy is saying that anxiety can be scary for sure. And Lisa is saying that it's a good reminder to check in with her BFF Wendy to make sure that she is doing okay. Oh, I understand if it's a long story, Cindy. I'm not pressuring you or anybody else to share. I totally understand that sometimes, things are personal or it would just take too long to tell some of the nuanced details. I absolutely get that. Amy is telling Connie that unfortunately depression can be hard for others to understand if they have not experienced it themselves. And I have to agree. I've been a little depressed after a breakup. I've been in grief after my parents, but I don't think I've ever known what actual depression is like. And for those of you who want help and support when I don't happen to be live on Mondays, on other days throughout the week, Amy Who's Your Diver is dropping my Discord link. That way you can message each other, you can message me, you can post. Cindy's sharing that her last panic attack was in November. And it was her first one in a long time. And she apparently was hurt by somebody. I am so sorry that you've experienced violence. Violence is absolutely never the answer. Violence is always wrong and never acceptable. It's not acceptable to women, to children, to men, or even to animals. Violence is always, always, always wrong. And we are so sorry that someone hurt you. And we pray for your health and your healing and your rehabilitation. Triple S is saying to Lisa that getting scared driving a car is understandable and that she can totally understand. And Lisa's saying she was a passenger. And kids are absolutely precious cargo. Pets are precious cargo. When am I doing a video about the questions? It's going to be later in the week. Lisa, I'm going to post on my community post and also on my Discord in a couple of days, and you'll see I'll say, and I have a post like this every single month where I say submit your questions for Ask Southern Belle. And so I see what questions have come in for that month. I usually record my Ask Southern Belle once a month, and I answer all of the questions about Southern life, Southern culture, New Orleans, Louisiana, holidays, food, etiquette, whatever y'all want to ask and talk about. So I'll put it in my community post. And if you like, I'll even send you an email to let you know so that you can load it up with questions. And you can ask 10, 20 questions if you want to, and I will pick the ones I haven't answered or the ones that I think that people will enjoy most. Hello, Angel. Angel in pink camo. One of my besties is in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Karen is saying that she remembers one time going to the doctor's office and they have what they call a fibromyalgia fog, and that she had to pull over and call her son to get directions. That she was crying and she was laughing at the same time. I did not realize that that was a side effect of fibromyalgia. Angel, just to update you on what we're doing tonight, I decided to use my StreamYard time on this show just once to see if people might want to click the link to tell their story or to share their burdens verbally. So far, even though I splurged, apparently everybody was happy typing in the chat. So it may be a one and done, and we just go back to typing in the chat. But if anybody wants to click the link to share any of their struggles, any of their hardships, their pain, their grief, so that we can support each other, mods are dropping the links for that. But if y'all just want to type in the chat as usual, that's mighty fine too. Okay, she sent me an email and she has a lot of questions about me. Well, I saw one email, although it was a business related email, and I answered that business related email about purchases. But if there are other emails, I will check them later, and I will do my best to answer questions. I usually try to talk more about Southern culture and heritage and Southern hospitality rather than me personally, because my channel isn't a vlog. It's not about me, not about my life, but just about what it's like to be a Southern belle. Oh, Cindy was clarifying it was not violence. I'm so sorry. When you said hurt, I thought you meant physical pain. My apology. That it was a person she thought cared about her. And I have to say, I've had friends who have broken my heart time and time and time again, where I thought we were on the same side, we were on the same team, and where they just pretended something I said was different or wasn't true, or lied about me, or made up a rumor, or changed their mind, flaked, gaslit me, whatever it was. I have lost so many friends, especially friends online, on YouTube, over the years. So if it was that way, I know what you're going through. It's happened to me a few times in real life, but it seems to happen more online than in real life. I don't know if it's because we don't hear each other's voice, we don't look into each other's eyes, we don't actually spend time together doing activities, or just it's easier to do sitting behind a keyboard. Oh, my apologies, Lisa, if I misread what you said. I am so sorry. I thought you were asking questions about the Ask Southern Belle video I do once a month. I'm so sorry. Did you have questions about tonight? If so, the mods can absolutely answer your questions. Connie is saying that she got a lot of strength from her YouTube family, which has helped her, as well as family members. And I am so glad that you have received that support. And I am so glad also that you are here to support others and to share your story and your journey with cancer. And I'm so glad that you're going through your last treatment, even though it's been one long year. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I think probably we can all relate to being hurt by a cyber friend, somebody that we thought was maybe a little closer to us or was maybe more emotionally invested in us. And for them, maybe it wasn't as real or wasn't as serious. Maybe we read the words on a page and we gave them more weight or more emotional context than they really have. You hear a lot about people in their 20s, sometimes 20s and 30s, having these cyber flings or cyber boyfriends, or they think that they're going out or they're dating or they're in love. And then you realize, wait, met, dated, they've never held hands. Sometimes they've never even seen each other. It was all just something online that was in their mind, that was some, idea or fantasy, and not real in the sense that it was inventive and emotional and in their mind. It was, so to speak. And Danielle is saying that YouTube can be a blessing. You know, y'all are making a great point that YouTube is both. It can bring some hurt when you think you're close to somebody and realize that they didn't feel the same way about you, or maybe did something that was hurtful to spread a rumor or something untrue. And it can be a great blessing, like the support that Connie received during her cancer treatments. Danielle is also saying that it's been a blessing to her. So it's amazing how something like YouTube can be both a source of comfort or a source of help. But I really hope with this Heart to Heart with Belle show that this can be a safe spot for y'all. This can be a place where hopefully it only help and only comfort and only support, and where we're making true and genuine friends here. And even though it's just one short show, one time a week, you can absolutely continue those friendships on Discord. And my mods are dropping the link for Discord. Lisa's saying that she had a friend in junior high that was like that. She dated guys online. She used to come to school and she talked about her boyfriend like he was actually there when he was apparently just online. And you know, some people online trick you on purpose. You hear about these guys that string women along, or vice versa, where women are stringing guys along trying to get gifts sent to them. So I think it works both ways, where people don't always have genuine motives or genuine feelings, where it can sometimes even become a game. Cindy's saying that she has made a lot of friends on YouTube and she's deciding to name them. I'm sure she cannot possibly name them all. And I'm sure she doesn't want to leave anybody out, but there's only so many characters that we can post. So please, nobody get your feelings hurt if Cindy didn't happen to name your name in this list of friends. So Amy is dropping the Discord link if any of y'all want to join. And once you join, you can friend each other. Triple S is dropping the StreamYard link in case anybody wants to click and wants to verbally share or verbally have a heart-to-heart. Connie is saying that she's made a lot of extended family throughout these YouTube channels. And that is a great way to think about it, as extended family, extended through the cybersphere. And Amy is reminding everybody to click the thumbs up. That absolutely tells YouTube that you like my channel, you approve of my channel, that it is to your liking, and that YouTube should suggest my channel and my shows to other viewers. And if you just want to tell me rather than telling YouTube, you can always put a fleur-de-lis in the comments. Danielle is also saying that she's made quite a few friends herself. I'm glad to hear that. I have to say, I don't know that I would have met most of you without YouTube, because y'all aren't in my own little town. So I probably wouldn't have bumped into you standing in line at the post office or the bank or when I'm out dumpster diving. So I think that probably most of us, if not all of us who are here right now, probably wouldn't have met and befriended each other without YouTube. So once again, something else to be grateful for. In fact, if you don't mind, I'm just going to stop and say a quick prayer of thankfulness and thanksgiving for that. I know it seems like I only pray when something is wrong, and this is a perfect time to stop and just say a quick prayer of gratitude. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much that you have brought this group of people together to support, to care about each other, to comfort, to uphold, to strengthen. Father, I could have never imagined 10 years, 20 years, 30 years ago that YouTube would exist, that I would have found YouTube, that I would know YouTube exists, or that I would someday have a channel. Father, you are so great and so mighty, and you have set the universe, the world, and even my life up in such a great and mighty way that I could have never imagined. I am so grateful and blessed that you have dreamed bigger for me than I could have ever dreamed for myself, that you have invented so much in my world and inventions and technologies that I could never have imagined or dreamed as a child or teen or even as a college student. Thank you so much for providing for me and for inspiring me to create the show, to find these friends and subscribers, these ballerinas and ballerinos, and we can come together to forge friendships in which we can bring help and healing and comfort to each other, as well as encouragement, inspiration, and motivation. I thank you so much. It's in your name I pray. Amen. And Triple S, being my managing mod, wants to remind everybody that on Thursday at 8 p.m., we will have a fun game show, Battle with Belle. Sorry, I got so choked up I couldn't even say the name of my own show. And so even though that this is a serious show, and even though I shed a few tears, and some of y'all may have shed a few tears too, I want you to know I can still have fun too. And on Thursday night, it is a time for fun, for laughter, for coming up with fun and crazy answers sometimes. Most of the time, you see more of what I don't know than what I do know. And it is absolutely okay to have a multifaceted personality where we can cry on Monday and we can laugh on Thursday. And on Sunday night at the auction, we can even pick up a few things to inspire and motivate our lives or gifts for other people. You know, we have so many sides to our personality, so many facets of our life, and it is absolutely fine to share those one with another and to build and encourage those as well. This doesn't have to be a show where we just cry or complain. We can absolutely also share joys, because in sharing joys and successes, just like Connie being on her last cancer treatment, it shows that we can inspire and motivate each other. That too can be a source of encouragement. Karen, as our guest liaison, is also reminding if anybody wants to play a round or two of Battle with Belle, it is Karen who can get you set up. She can prep you with the rules and how it works, send you the link ahead of time, and get you all signed up and ready. So she has kind of her own heart to heart with you, getting you ready for the game show. And Angel is telling us in her time zone it's getting late, so she says goodnight to everybody. She gives her cyber hugs. Angel gives the best cyber hugs. And thank you so much for tuning into my show. I appreciate it so much, my friend. Always glad to see Angel. And if y'all don't know Angel, Angel has her own auction Saturday mornings at 10 a.m., and she has great bargain prices. Connie Wilton wants to send out an air hug to each and every one of us to know that she is with us. Group hug! Absolutely, group hug, everyone. And Cindy is giving the exciting news that she is moving to Texas. So, congratulations. I went to college in Texas and I have great things to say about Texas. So, congratulations about your move. And without telling any of Cindy's personal information, she lives in a state that is several states away. So it's not like she's just going over the border. It's a big move, a long move, a far move. So she is, without giving her privacy information, more than a day's drive. I'll just say that. So it's a big deal. Can anybody else relate to moving or the difficulty in moving or the hassle in moving or the joy in moving? So Cindy's saying it's going to be somewhere near Jefferson, Texas, and Cindy is telling us she's in the Atlanta area. Thanks for being so open about that. And Karen is saying, yes, Atlanta to Jefferson, Texas area is a big move. Big, big, big. But I believe that Cindy has some family there without sharing any of her personal details. If she wants to tell us about it, we would love to hear about it or to read about it if she wants to type in the comments. Sometimes a fresher start or a fresh start, gives us a certain momentum, a new challenge, a new invigoration. While YouTube wasn't a move, it was a new start and a new journey. And I certainly felt that way in starting my YouTube channel. I also feel that way every time I start a new show. I know y'all are saying you seem to start new shows every time. For a while, you had one show, then you have two shows. Now you have three shows. It's just new shows every few weeks. And it kind of sort of is. But I have to tell you, it brings me so much joy. And I love the challenge and the fast pace of it. There's something about planning for the shows and my YouTube activity that keeps me from thinking about myself or my own boring life. I always say my channel isn't a vlog, it's not about me. And having three shows per week now really helps it to not be about me, helps it to be about y'all on Mondays, helps it to be about hosting a fun social game show because I feel like I'm throwing a party every Thursday. I don't know if y'all get that feeling from me, but I really feel like I am inviting a guest list, that I'm making sure everybody has what they need, that they know when and where to show up on the invitation. And when people are interested, I do literally send an invitation and I do literally send thank you notes. I am that Southern. Well, with the help of my mods. It will always say Southern Belle and the Southern Belle mods. So that's just the brand of Southern that I am. And Cindy's saying it's to be close to her grandkids. And Connie is saying what a great reason that is, as well as her daughter. So I am so glad that you'll be able to spend more time in person. I'm sure you spend all of the time and phone time you can, but we all know that in person, to have a different experience. Y'all are happy typing in the chat. So rather than spend the few pennies I have on the StreamYard, I will save them for the game show instead. Amy saying that moving is awesome if someone else will pack for you and moves all the stuff for you and unpacks everything for you. Unfortunately, she hasn't figured out how to do that. Yeah, okay. If only life worked that way. It's kind of like people say they enjoy eating home cooked meals if they don't have to shop for the groceries, carry in the groceries, put away the groceries, do all the chopping, all of the cooking, the stirring, wash all the pots and the pans and the dishes. So, yeah, home cooked meals are great when you don't have to do those 10 to 20 steps. Same way with moving. But sometimes in life, you just have to decide, is it worth it? Is it worth it to move? Is it worth it to start a YouTube channel? Is it worth it to get married? Is it worth it to change your job? So there are so many big decisions in life, and there are so many consequences, and we just don't know how it's going to turn out. And sometimes it ends up being way more trouble than we think. And sometimes it becomes even more of a blessing than we think. Triple S is sharing that she moved 3.5 years ago, and she still has things that she hasn't unpacked. Well, it makes me wonder, are those things that were really necessary? Because if you really, really, really needed them, you might have unpacked them. So it might be things best left packed to, just have safely stored that you might want to, wait and gift to your children when they are older. Connie says that she kept teasing her daughter, saying that if she moves, that she hopes that people will buy the house, um, like my face on the wall. Oh, if the people who buy her house will just like the face on the wall. Well, there are some people who buy the house and the furniture and everything. So after the hurricane, I debated about whether I would fix it or just sell it to one of those we buy ugly houses people, or companies. And those companies say, you don't have to move a thing. You can just leave it all here and we'll either sell it off for you. Um, and of course, they keep the profits, or they'll just put it all on the curb, or they'll demolish it all. So there they let you leave everything. Although I didn't want to leave anything. So that alone was one of the reasons why I decided to do the repairs rather than just sell it off. And Cindy's sharing that she's going to have to get rid of a lot of stuff. And Triple S is sharing that she's probably bought replacements. And if you haven't, I might be selling some replacements at my next auction. And having you there as my managing moderator, you're kind of a captive audience. Oh no, did I just say that? Probably shouldn't have said that out loud. Okay, well, before I end up getting myself in trouble with my dear friend Triple S, are there any other topics that y'all want to talk about? Does anybody want to share? Does anybody want to click the link? Anything else you want to pray about? I know we've been here an entire hour and a half, and I think that we've covered a lot of great topics, that we've done a lot of sharing. But if there's anyone who's still waiting to share, wanting to share, I absolutely don't want to cut it off. I have time. Connie's saying, meaning that I lived here for 37 years, and I am not packing 37 years up. I totally understand that. My parents were in the same situation. They only built one house, and they built it back in the when they first got married, and then they started having kids, and they raised us here, and they have it filled up, stacked, and packed. So I always tell people I could sell things for hours and hours and hours every single day of my life for the rest of my life and still not sell off everything that they accumulated, because they lived to be 73 years old. Although I also have stuff of my own and stuff that I find dumpster diving as well. So that too adds to all that I have to sell. So I don't think I will ever have an empty house, but I don't really want an empty house. So I enjoy looking at things with memories and having choices. I'm kind of a more is more person. So to some people, they would see clutter and it would bother them. It doesn't so much bother me. Well, is there anything else that y'all want to talk about, or any other issues? And Cindy is sharing that they've been in their house since 1998, and they too have a lot of stuff. And if I recall, I think Cindy is even a collector of a few things. I may not be remembering right, but I believe she had shared that with me a couple of years ago. Connie's saying that her ex and she have been apart for 37 years, but they've been the best of friends. I am so glad that you've been able to still be best friends. That sounds like an amazing situation that has turned out so nicely for you. I hear so many terrible stories of people where there is animosity and hurt feelings and they can't get over whatever caused them to be apart. So, such a blessing that you've become able to pivot your relationship to be friends. And Maria is saying what a blessing that she is receiving from God. And I'm so glad. I pray that everybody be blessed. And Connie's telling me not clutter, but treasures. That is so true. That's exactly how I feel about it. Because I'm a person who can usually see the good in most situations, most people, and most things. And that is absolutely my take on it. And Cindy says, yep, I collect Betty Boop. She loves Betty Boop. And for some reason, I was thinking you also collected hearts. That may be wrong, Cindy, but I was thinking it was Betty Boop and hearts too. But maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. My apologies if I'm remembering wrong. But now that y'all know she collects Betty Boop, whenever her birthday rolls around or you see something at an auction, you can keep Cindy Lou in mind. Does anybody have any birthdays coming up that you want to let me know about? If so, I am more than glad to announce them tonight or in a future episode. I'm even willing to sing to you. So, because this show doesn't have to just be sad, we can also celebrate the joys and the blessings as well. Because a heart to heart isn't just for sadness, it can be for joys and triumphs as well. Oh, I am remembering right. I'm so glad. Okay. Well, one last call. If anybody wants to share anything else, if anybody wants to click the voice link, um, otherwise, I think that I'm going to say a closing prayer and I'll let you know what I have planned for the week. Let's see. Danielle is saying that her best friend's birthday is today, and her best friend's birthday is Alexis. For some reason, I thought Bold Lion was your best friend. I don't know why I got that confused, but I'm so glad you have a best friend named Alexis. And Triple S is saying that her border collie puppy, whose name is Lacey, turns 1 on the 12th. Well, we can absolutely celebrate pet birthdays as well. Oh, you've been friends since 4th grade. That is so incredibly sweet. I love that your friendship has stood the test of time. And Connie's saying when you have children, you have to set an example for your children and to let them see peace, not fighting, and to let them know that they were not the reason for the separation. That is so smart and so well adjusted so as to not bring guilt or feelings of worry or resentment to your children. You sound like such a great mom, Connie. And Cindy's saying, tell your friend Danielle happy birthday for her. Tell her happy birthday for me. Tell her happy birthday for everybody. And Connie is saying that her birthday was back on January 11th. Happy belated birthday, Connie. I hope it was a happy and blessed birthday for you. Okay, well, I'm going to say a closing prayer. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for the gift of YouTube and being able to have this channel and make this show so that we had a right time and place to gather when we wouldn't be bothering anybody else, wouldn't be stopping in the middle of an auction or a birthday celebration or a subscriber celebration or, or for everybody is welcome for the gift of these subscribers in the Cellarinos, and I thank you for the love and care that they show to each other and show to me. And may they all be blessed and pass on the spirit of encouragement, inspiration, and motivation to people in their household, in their family, their friends, their town, and the entire cyber world. It's in your name I pray. Amen. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Let me tell you what I have going on. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., I have been invited to be a one-time guest auctioneer, co-host, co-seller on Leslie's Lucky Finds channel. And on Tuesday night, I'm going to make one last appearance on Harold's Simple Adventures auction. So tomorrow will be a 2 auction day, first on Leslie's channel and then on Harold's channel. On Thursday will be Battle with Belle, Thursday night, 8 p.m. on my channel. And then Sunday, I will have my second auction on my own channel at 7 p.m. And keep in mind, every 2 days, I release a video, and I will be collecting questions in my community post for another episode of Ask Southern Belle, where all the questions you have about Southern culture, Southern hospitality, Southern food, Southern etiquette, about Louisiana, about New Orleans, I am glad to answer those all. So I hope that I can see you a few more times during the week, whether on other people's channels or on my channel. And I hope to see you back here next Monday so that we can do more sharing, more caring, and more group hugs. Laissez bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. Roll in your life, roll in your heart, roll in your soul, roll on and on and on. May God bless you, and bye-bye.